Hey, what's up, everybody? Decided to do this little video for certification guide. I've been seeing a lot of things, so let's just get to it right away. Let's take a look at the topology. So we have a PC. Obviously, we're in a VLAN 10, and this is the 10.0 network, SATA 24. Then here between these two switches, these are 3650 switches. Reason I'm using that because of how you would type the trunking, how you would trunk the ports would be easier than doing two commands is just one. But you can see they're red because there's no power supply. I'll put it in there. We're running layer 3 ether channel. That means we're routing here. We're routing, okay? And this up here, you can see it's another network, which means it's a routed port. It's a routed port. Then obviously we got our routers, all right? 10.1.1.12, 10.1.16. And then over here, we have, well, I didn't put the friggin', hold on. Oh, don't want to move that. Hold on. Jesus, I just want to get that. There we go. Control C, VB. Bring that back. Let's bring it over here. Let's bring this over here for this side. This will be 20. So I'll change that to 20. Forgot to put that. Okay. So these are not going to be routed. This is an actual layer 2 switch. These are layer 2 switches. No routing here. But we'll be doing inter-VLAN connectivity. Okay. And then for the routing protocol of choice, I'm choosing OSPF, as you can see here. And you have OSPF area 1, then OSPF area 2. The green is 1, area 2 is the blue, and then in the middle, which is the routers, is area 0. So this right here, right, the transit network would be area 0, okay? Because no communication can occur between area 2 and area 1 unless it goes through area 0. Period, end of story. All right, so, and we'll be doing some housekeeping commands that I like to call. All right, so first thing I like to do is I go to the PC. This is the order my mind works, okay? You got to find an order for your mind. 192.168.10.1, first available IP address. I am using a 24-bit. I just say tab. My gateway is going to be this switch right here. This switch right here is going to be my gateway. No longer will it be the router. All right, so my gateway will be 192.168.1.254. So that means I'm giving this VLAN, all right, this VLAN 10, which I'm going to create, I'm going to give it an IP address of 1.254. That's called an SVI, a switch virtual interface. All right, so I'm going to do that. So now let me go to the switch. So I did that for the PC, right? No big deal. There it is right there. Okay. And again, pause the video so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to go to the switch. I don't want to make this a 2-hour video. Okay. Oh, see it says it must be powered on. No friggin' power supplies. I put in 2. Not that you need to, but I just don't like seeing that hole there. Okay. Yeah, I'll wait a little bit because if not, you know, if it's booting up, if you do it too quick, it won't let you. All right. So let's wait till it boots up. Oh, that's quick. All right. We're going to say no. So we're in user mode, enable, privilege mode, even though in your exam they call it enable mode, which is retarded. Config T, host name, this is MLS0, MLS0. All right, some basic housekeeping. Enable, secret, Cisco. I do everything in caps. Why? Because I can't see. Enable, password, student. All right, this is the typical thing from way back in the day that you would put. You want to encrypt all other passwords, service, password hyphen encryption, tab is your friend. Okay, you want to do a banner, MOTD. I like to use the money sign because we want money, stay out. Okay. Again, I don't like making things difficult. I'm making things easy. I want you to be able to do the command, understand what I'm doing, why I'm doing the command. You do a banner, message of the day, because you don't want people trying to tell it in or SSH in or whatever it is into your routers. You don't want to give them a welcome message. Hey, come on in, guys. No, it's like stay out. All right. Then we can create user accounts. Now, your Cisco Labs like you to just do a username and a password. That's it. And then the default level that you have that you can do things is 4. Okay, it's privilege level 4. Why? Okay, so if you're actually, unless you have to, okay, but I'm not gonna play that game username, L Diaz. Okay, not admin1 exclamation and all that crazy stuff. L Diaz. Okay. Privilege level 15, which is the highest. Okay. Password. And then you could, if you wanted to, okay, put, it's either 0 or 7, okay? 0 means plain text, 7 means encrypted. I typed the source password hyphen encryption. It's going to freaking encrypt it. I put 0, it's going to tell me, So I'm going to put 7. It don't matter. All right? 15 password, and then I'm going to use Cisco. I'm going to use Cisco for everything except for the enable password student. Yeah, I'm going to use Cisco for everything else. Cool. Oh, invalid. You see, I put 7 like an idiot. 0 Cisco. So it's going to be encrypted by the server's password hyphen encryption. Cool. So you got your banner, you got that. Let's do this. No IP domain hyphen lookup, which means it's not going to interrupt your typing when syslog messages come up. That's it. Okay, that's what it does. But we're going to create SSH. Yeah, yeah. So IP SSH timeout 120 seconds. IP or whatever they tell you. IP SSH authentication retries. Maximum is I think it's 5 actually. Question mark is your friend also. We're just gonna put 3. Okay, so you put 0. It's like, oh well, you failed. Sorry, you don't have any retries. All right, and then IP SSH version. It's either 1 or 2. So let's use 2. Awesome. All right, now in order to do this, in order to be able to run SSH, we have one of the criteria, which is this. Okay. And then the other criteria is creating a domain name. So we're going to do IP domain hyphen name globed.net. Awesome. Globed.net. Beautiful. So now we got globed.net and MLS 0. So between those two, it creates the keys. So we can do crypto key generate RSA, hit enter. All right, and remember what it said here. So using version 2, at least 768. That would be ridiculous to do. 4096, do the max. Cool. We got 4096. And then we're going to go into the terminal lines. Line VTY 0 space 15, Y15, because it's the maximum on here. If they tell you just do 0 to 4, it's the default. That's fine. Okay, and you see that SSH version 2 has been enabled. We're going to do password. Cisco, regardless, okay? And then we're going to put login. We're not going to just put login because login is just going to ask you for a password. You want a username and password. So we're going to say login local, okay? Awesome. And we're going to do also synchronous. No, hello. Yeah, really? Wow. Yeah, login. Synchronous, all right? So your typing doesn't get interrupted. It means as you're typing, you get a syslog message. It doesn't bother you. And then you're going to do exec hyphen timeout. They're doing this. I don't know why, but they're doing this. It's okay. It's okay. They used to do it. They used to do it, but they're doing it again. So exec hyphen timeout, minutes, seconds, minutes, seconds, minutes, seconds. So if you're not doing anything, your session is going to time you out after minutes and seconds. 10 minutes. 45 seconds. Lovely. That was in my telnet. I'm still on my virtual terminal lines. So I'm going to do another one, which is transport input. You got a choice. All. Obviously, in a real world scenario, security reasons, you're not going to do all. Right? It's going to be either SSH or telnet. Listen, I worked for Metro PCS at the switch, and we telnetted it everywhere we go. Okay? Unless when T-Mobile came around, we had a VPN everywhere we went. We had to go to the bathroom. We had to go through a VPN. All right? So transport input, let's say all. It's a lab, people. It's a lab. We can test both. All right. Then we'll do line console. That's what it stands for. 0 password Cisco, and then log in. Local. Sorry, local. We want to use the username and password. It's a beautiful thing. Now, one thing they don't do anymore. Line. I wonder why. Is it there? It's not there. Let's see. Line. Yeah, see? It used to be an auxiliary port, right? You would have auxiliary port, you used to do the same thing. There were 3 things. Now they don't use it anymore. So you got your line con 0 and your line VTYs. All right? So we did our lines, we did all that. We did SSH, we did the banner. That's the main thing. Okay, now let's put the IP addresses in the switch. All right, so I forget, I thought it was in the router. It's the same thing. So we're gonna do, in the switch, one of the things you wanna do is, I'm glad I said that, IP default hyphen gateway. So whatever IP address I'm gonna give this router right here, which is in the 10.1.1.8, this is gonna be my 10.1.1.10. And really, it's not my default gateway. It probably is not. It's going to be this switch right here to get to the other side. So you can add a default gateway so you can access to it. So I'll put my default gateway as, I can put it as this switch if I wanted to, but I'm not going to do that. All right. I'm going to keep things simple. All right. That's it. So let's create the VLAN. VLAN 10, very difficult. Name, my favorite department, HR. Okay, and then I'm going to give that VLAN an actual IP address. Okay, so I'm gonna exit out. I'm gonna go int VLAN 10. You can see how it comes up. All right, it says up. All right, and then we're gonna say IP address. Now remember, this is the gateway. This switch down here is the gateway for this PC. So I'm gonna say 192.168.10.254, 255.255.255.0. No need to do a no shut because it already came up. All right, let's just save that. And also get into a habit of saving your file by clicking the little floppy disk. Okay, save. Computer's running a little crazy. I don't know why. I gotta do a disk cleanup or something. All right, so that's that. And then we need to assign the VLAN to port 1 or G101. So interface G1/0/1. We need to turn it to a static mode, so we're going to do switch port mode access, or access port, sorry. Switch port access VLAN 10. Awesome. So verification. So you can do a show IP in brief and go all the way to the bottom, and you can see that VLAN 10 has an IP address and it is up. Okay, you can see that turning to amber. Like to fast forward through time. All right, favorite button. All right, so we're good there. If we do a show run, all right, we can see here's your MD5, here's your MD7. So it tells you right there. And this is a command to encrypt this. This encrypted this. All plain text passwords, past, present, and future. All right, this is what the secret did. Here's my username. It's a good idea to create usernames anyway with this level of privilege in case you're using Radius or TACACS. And then, you know, let's say your Radius goes down or TACACS goes down. You have a local username and password that you can go ahead and get in. Okay. Here's your IP, no IP domain lookup. So if you do a typo, it doesn't go looking out for a DNS server and you have none configured. Here, this is globed.net. And the only reason I did that, not that I have a DNS server or anything like that, because I'm not pointing to one, but I need that in order to be able to do SSH. Or not to do SSH, well, yeah, in order to do the crypto keys, I need that. Okay, here's in G010, you can see that there's your switch port access VLAN. There's nothing else so far on the other ones. Okay, let's take it all the way down. Come on, there you go. And VLAN 1, which is your native, it's shut down right now. We don't, and that's, by the way, the only one that you need to actually turn on. And then here's our other VLANs that has an IP address. You can see the MAC address there. Cool. So I just want to test that out. So let me ping from the computer. Let me do an ipconfig first of all. All right, we got that. Let's ping our gateway. Ping 192.168.1.254. Fast forward button. I just don't like to wait. Request timeout. Am I gonna have to do a no shot on this thing? Okay. All right, let's see what's going on here. Let's do an ipconfig. Make sure I got my stuff together here. 192.168.10.1. Yeah, it is. Look what I did. Look what I did. Mistake. Typo. I am the typo king. Okay? I am the typo king. There we go. Fast forward. And it's still giving me that. All right, let's come up here now, Control C, show VLAN brief. We can see that VLAN 10 HR is on G101. And then let's take a look again at the bottom of it, show run. I'm just gonna hit spacebar, take me all the way to the bottom. Show IP and brief I could have done. I got that right. All right, so I'm gonna do this. Config T, int VLAN 10. Why? I don't know, but okay, no shot. Watch what you type. Okay. Let's do that. Let's come back in here. Oh, I'm typing the wrong friggin' IP address. Alright, so that was just me doing typos. You guys didn't tell me anything. Alright, so there we go. We can ping that. Not because the no-show did anything. Alright, so I forgot to put power supply on this guy. That's why I still red. So let's go ahead and do that. But we need to do ether channel. Right, so meanwhile that's booting up whatever. Let's do the ether channel. Now you can't see the ports. You PhDs out there, stop friggin' giving labs out because in the packet tracer especially, where everything is like one on top of each other, okay? You can't tell what the hell's going on. All right, so make sure they can see the interfaces, okay? So come in here. I'll go back in, let me get out. So this is port 1010 in the back because you can't see. You need to like move it around. Okay, so you can see it. All right, friggin'. I have a PhD. I can do what I want. No. Okay, so we're gonna come here. I'm gonna do layer 3 ether channel. Okay, so we're gonna do first. Make sure you're in the right range. Interface G. What is it? G1/0. Oh, I'm gonna do a range. I'm sorry. Int range. G1/0/10-11. Ta-da! All right, and we'll do. This is a switch. I don't care if it's a layer 3 switch. You need to tell it not to do layer 2 stuff. Okay, you need to say no switch port. That takes out the layer 2 functionality. Now it becomes a layer 3 port. All right, so we're gonna do. Oh wow. Channel. Okay, channel hyphen protocol. All right, you got two choices: LACP or PACP. PACP proprietary to Cisco using Cisco equipment. LACP cross vendor. Cisco likes LACP. LACP. Okay, so then you do channel hyphen group, and then choose a group. We're gonna choose one, and then the mode. Okay, and then what is if you're running LACP, you can either do active. It says it right there. You can either do active, which is going to send messages out for LACP, and then the other side could be passive, where you say, I'm just waiting for LACP messages. All right. Active, 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 active. You can't do passive, passive because they will both be waiting there like a bunch of dunce. All right, so active, active. Okay. Cool. Now you see it created that port channel, right? Lovely. Now we exit out, and we're gonna do int port channel uno. Put the IP address. IP address 10.1.1.5, 255.255.255.252. Cool. Now in the packet tracer, you can get away with what I'm about to do, which is show ES. Oh, really? Not in this switch? Okay, show Ethernet channel summary. All right, in the other switch, you can get away with it, not here. All right, and there you can see that you're using port channel 1. It's R because it's a layer 3. It's D because it's down. And then you're running LACP on these two interfaces. I means it's, where is it? It's standalone. I call it isolated. Whatever, but okay, so we're done there. It's not working. It's there, but it's not working. So we got to do the other side. Cool, cool. Let's close this. Save as you go. Save as you go. Let's wait for that little thing to come up. Come on, man. There you go. All right. Get that switch going. I'm not going to do housekeeping here. I did it that once. I'm not going to do it here. So remember where I did the housekeeping. Now, one thing I am a stickler about is the host name. Host name, you got to know where you're at. And I am a stickler about this one. No IP domain hyphen lookup. And I'm also line con 0 login synchronous, because I don't like being interrupted. Line VTY 0 space 14. Is it 14 or 15? 15. There we go. Login synchronous. Same thing. I'm not going to use usernames or anything like that on all. If not, this will be a 3-hour video. You got it on that switch. I may do it on the router again, and then that's it. All right. You just got to practice it. All right. Exit. Now here we're not going to create any VLANs. Here we're creating the other side of the layer 3 Ether channel. So same ports. Don't screw up the ports. In range G1/0/10-11. All right. No switch port. Okay. Then we're going to do channel hyphen protocol LACP channel hyphen group group one mode active, because it's LACP, we want active. There's your port channel. Exit out. We're gonna do the other side of the IP address interface no, I'm sorry, what am I talking about? And port channel 1 IP address 10.1.1.6 255.255.255.252. All right, let's check it out. Show Ether channel summary. So now you're up. You see? Now your port channel 1 is up, not D, it's up, and now you're in port channel. So you're good to go. But I like to always ping 10.1.1.5. I should get a reply. I'll wait this time. All right, cool. So now we got that, right? So we're on this switch right here. We're not done, because now we got this right here. It's another network. All right. So we created an SVI here, a switch virtual interface, means an IP address on a VLAN. All right. So that's the gateway for this PC. Then that same switch, we did Ether channel along with this switch that we're in now. And now the same switch that we're in now, we got to connect to this router, but we're going to be putting an IP address on port G1024. Awesome. Config T, interface G1/0/24. And no switch port. Got to get rid of the layer 3. Really? Okay. What happened there? Oh, wait a minute. What did happen there? Oh, because this is down. This is okay. No switch port. We did good. Because see how it's red? And then why didn't it go up? Because this side is red. All right. No worries. No concerns. Now we're going to put an IP address on it. IP address, which is part of this network right here. So 10.1.1.9, 255.255.255.252. And that's it. DWR, Control Z. Lovely. And then we go to, let's minimize this. Let's click save. Again, yes. I am obsessed with the save button. So this is router 0. Enable, CompT. Oof. What language am I doing? CompT. Hostname R0. So we're going to do interface G0/0. IP address 10.1.1.10, 255.255.255.252. And no shot. DWR. And you can see that it came up. Let's do the other side. All right, the other interface, 10.1.1.12. I didn't follow my own rule, but I'm just going to do this because we're here already. Interface G0/1. IP address 10.1.1.13, 255.255.255.252. No shot. Awesome. So let's do my pet peeves. No IP domain hyphen lookup. LineCon 0. Login synchronous. Tab is your friend, ladies and gentlemen. Line VTY 0 space 15. Oh, 15. You actually opened up only 2 lines, so let's do that. Login synchronous. All right, there we are. All right, cool. So we got that going on right here. We're not going to be able to talk to each other yet, right? So we're going to be putting IP addresses all the way across, right? And then we'll do the routing protocol and all that good stuff. I want to make sure I get that done. So listen, there's a horizontal slide bar here. To make your life easy, if you know you're working now on this router, move the lab over. And then click here. And then adjust accordingly, okay? Accordingly. Say no. For those who say, why don't you create clusters, Laz? Because I don't want to. Why? So I can look special. Conf hostname R2, R1, sorry. No IP domain hyphen lookup. Yeah, that's just a pet peeve of mine, sorry. Line con 0, login synchronous, line VTY 0 space 15, up arrow twice. Why? You gotta work smarter, not harder. Int G0/2, especially when you go doing your certification. IP address. So this is a 10.1.1.14, 205, 205, 205, 252. No shut. Okay, cool. Interface G0/1. IP address. Not JIP. They JIP me. IP address. That's what colleges are doing. 10.1.1.17. 255, 255, 255, 252. No shut. Okay. All right. Want to do anything else? Should I do anything else? No, I don't think so. I think that's good. All right. We're good there. Let's save that. Yes. Save as you go. So I'm working in my last router. All right. And we know it's a 16 network. You need to know your network, people. Enable, conf hostname, R. What router is this? R2. If you can't see it here, if you look on the title bar, I guess I would call this a title bar. Here it says R2 right there. So R2. Interface G0/2. IP address. 10.1.1. It was 16, 17, there's 18. 255, 255, 255, 252. No shut. UWR. And then interface G. Oh, well, I'm not going to do this because we got to do inter-VLAN connectivity. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to leave it right there at the moment. All right, do WR or WR or see, I didn't do my pet peeve. You see why? Typo king. If I were to type no IP domain lookup, that wouldn't happen. Control Shift 6. Not all routers support that, or Control pause break. So let me do my pet peeve stuff. No IP domain hyphen lookup. Okay, but look, I'm gonna type that again. WRE. It's just what is that? Okay, or do WRE. Let's do that. It says the unknown command or computer name, unable to find computer address. So it won't do that nonsense. Okay, so that's why I do that. Glad it happened. Line, and that's why I say learning through labbing. Line con 0, LOGG login synchronous. Line VTY 0 space 15. Login synchronous. Awesome. Because I don't want to get interrupted wherever I'm coming through. But we're not going to do anything here because here we're going to have to do sub interfaces. But let's understand what we're doing. All right. So down here, this side is pure layer 2. So in this scenario, the first thing that I do is make this my primary root bridge, like it says here. Okay. And just so you know, BTP, which is not part of the CCNA, but you need to know because in your CCNP, they have a whole freaking chapter on it. Okay. And out there, some people still use it. But spanning tree, even though they're getting rid of it, spanning tree, and they tell you to do a primary root bridge. And I always like using this one because it's my core switch is connecting to the router. So let me bring it over here since I'm working in the blue area. All right, I'm gonna click on that switch right there and do some basic stuff. Okay. Conf host name is this switch SW0. It's not a multi-layer switch. All right, so I'm gonna create. I know I have VLANs 20 and 10, and there's VLAN 1 that exists already. So I'm going to do one instance across all these VLANs for this primary root bridge. Cool. Spanning tree, VLAN 1, comma, 10, comma, not 10, genius, 20, comma, 30. Root, primary. This is the way that they want you to do it now. It's always been... this has always been a command, but way back in the day, it was priority 0, okay? But right now, this is the way they want you to do it, so do it that way. So now I took care of that, right? If you do a do show spanning tree, you see that this guy says, hello, this is the root bridge, okay? All right, so this is the root bridge. Now, what I do for VTP, Virtual Trunking Protocol, what that does, it manages all your layer 2 switches. Okay, people are scared of it because they don't know what the hell they're doing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create my VLANs, create them. I'm not going to assign them. I'm going to create them up here, and then they're going to trickle down to my clients, which are the bottom switches. Cool? Cool. So I'm going to create my VLANs. So you got VLAN 20, VLAN 20. Let's give it a name. Let's give it name faculty. All right, and VLAN 30 is going to be name students. Right? Cool. Awesome. Outstanding. So I'm going to do a show VLAN brief. And there's my faculty and students. Awesome. Let's take a look at the VTP server. Or the VTP switch, which is acting as the server switch. They all are, but eventually the bottom ones will be client. Show VTP stat. Short for status. Okay? So what's important here? Let me maximize this so you guys can see it nice. All right, what the important thing here is, one, we're going to put a domain name for security reasons. All right, we all need to be part of the same domain. All right, the configuration revision number, this is how people get jacked up. Everybody's on a server. Somebody decides because, hey, I want to. I'm going to create new VLANs. And, you just increase that revision number. Now, the higher revision number means you got the latest and greatest information, and you're going to wipe out every other switch, because server and client switches, regardless, but server switches send and receive VLAN database information. If you're a server, if you're a client, you send and receive as well. But it's all based on this revision number. So this is where the scary part is. Okay, so you gotta be very careful. Now, even though that we're gonna create a domain name that has nothing to do with DNS, it's just for security reasons, right? I can call that freaking Tarzan, which I will. All right, and then it's not enough, because once we trunk the ports, things will trickle down anyway. So the way we secure it further is to put a VTP password. Okay, so let's do that. So we're gonna do config T. I'm gonna do VTP domain Tarzan. So I protect those who come here. All right, I am Lord of the Jungle. I'm gonna do a VTP password, and I like mangoes. Mango, easy stuff, man. I don't understand why they start putting all these characters. I understand why they're doing it in the sense where you gotta make it complex, but you're trying to teach a concept. Stop making it more difficult, trying to remember what password it was than the actual concept. PhDs. Jesus, too many crickets. Okay. WR. Oops. Again, my pet peeve. Control-Shift-6. Config T. No IP domain. Hyphen lookup. Let's do that. Let's just take a do show. We did the VLAN, right? Do show VTP stat. So now there's your Tarzan. Okay. But how do we see the password? Do show VTP password. And there's your password, Mango. Hey, Laz, isn't that a security risk? People can just see that. Well, first of all, your switch, not everybody's going to have access to this, one. Two, you're not going to friggin' leave this out in the reception area, okay? So, no, you're not going to do that. And you'll be doing your enable secret, your enable this, all right? You'll be having radius, authentication, all this stuff set up. Come on. Come on. All right? So, let's save what we got so far. So, now we need to trunk the ports. Well, which ports get trunked? Well, obviously, ports that get trunked is switch to switch and switch to router. So I'm going to do a range command to trunk these two ports, and then I'll trunk this port on its own. Okay? Or I can do like a comma, and I can do it that way if it works. If it doesn't, we'll just do it individually. No, no harm, no foul. Config T, int range F0/22 through 23. I'm gonna put a space. I'm gonna put comma. I'll put a space. Let's see if it works. G0/1. Yeah, hey, cool, it worked. So I'm gonna do switch port mode trunk. This is a layer 2 switch, so it's only one command. All right, the other layer 3 switch, we didn't need to, but it would have been one command as well because we did the routing on the other side. So that's trunked. Cool. How do we verify that? Well, various ways. Excuse me. We can do show interface. Hold on. Yes. Show interface. The actual interface. Let's just look at F0/22. F0/22. Switch port. All right, and you can see it that way. There it is, trunk right here. That's what you're looking for right there. All right, and then you can see this .1Q. That's the one we're doing. Or you can just simply do show switch port. Really? Showing trunk. Sorry. Brain's crazy. Show interface trunk. Wow. And there you can see that it's on 802.1q. It's a trunking protocol. And this is another thing I want you to notice as well, because they make you do certain labs in the Cisco says you need to allow these VLANs. All VLANs are allowed on the trunk port. VLANs allowed on the active management and domain. They're allowed by default. Okay, they're allowed. You don't need to do a specific allowed command, but whatever. It's a test you're taking, what have you. All right, so we got that done. We did the spanning tree. That's the main spanning tree up there. We got the root primary, and then we have VTP set up. Tarzan is the domain. Mango is the password. We created the VLANs up there, and we trunk the appropriate ports. Awesome. So now I'm going to come down here. So the first thing I'm going to do, so you're not scared, and you wipe out your entire VLANs that you just created, okay, is turn this into a VTP client. So what I'm going to do is give it the host name. This is switch one, host name, SW1, okay, and let's do my pet peeve, no IP domain, hyphen lookup, okay, and then I'm going to do VTP mode client. Because why client? Because a client can send and receive, but a client can mess around with the VLAN database. So I can't create a VLAN. I will not be able to create a VLAN. I will not be able to mess around with the VLAN database. And then I'm going to put the VTP password. VTP password is Mango. Mango. That's just the packet tracer being the packet tracer. All right, let it do what it wants to do. I'm going to fast forward through time. With the packet tracer, you got to play. All right, you got to play. I fast forward through time a million times. All right, I'm going to come back in here. You see how it kicked me out? I'm going to do enable, config T, VTP password, Mango. And now I did it. All right, so just got to play with it. All right, then you do show VTP, show VLAN brief. Make sure they came down. Do show VLAN brief, Do show VLAN brief. And there's your friggin' VLAN. So now we need to assign them. All right, so this is going to be the faculty switch. So I'm going to do a range of ports. Let's do int range F01 /-- 5. All right, you have to be an access port to assign a VLAN. So switch port mode, access, switch port, access, VLAN 20. Lovely. Let's give the VLAN IP address, shall we? Just for the heck of it. Exit. I'm gonna do int VLAN 20. Let's get an IP address for management reasons. Int VLAN 20 IP address 192.168.20.251. Let's say 251. 255.205.205.0. There we go. No need to do a no shut. It's already there. So we've assigned the VLANs, right? So let's take a look at that. Let me save it again and do a show VLAN brief. So we're cool. Here's our 20 VLAN, and it's on these ports. So any computer plug into these ports will be part of VLAN 20. Lovely. And the VLAN has an actual IP address, right? And the way you look at that will be show IP int brief. There it is down there. And that's the IP address. Awesome. Let's go to the next one over. So let's move our audio here. Okay, let's expand this. Now, first thing, one of the things I'm going to do to this one, because this is going to be the secondary root bridge. Okay, backup purposes. Enable. And then this switch to, so give the name, host name, SW2. And then no IP. Ooh, what am I typing? No IP domain. Domain hyphen lookup. Okay, lovely. What am I? Oh, BTP mode client. Cool. BTP password. Mango. This is I fast forward before that went through, so that's cool. So let's just check now. Do show VLAN brief. Here it is. This is VLAN 30. So I'm going to say int range F0/1-5. Switch port mode access. Switch port access VLAN 30. Let's give VLAN 30 an IP address. Int VLAN 30. All right. Oh, I didn't do the spanning tree. I didn't do the secondary. I'll do it now. And then, what am I doing? Oh, I created the VLAN 30. So I went in. Oh, I'm giving an IP address. IP address 192.168.30. Oh, that's right. Okay, let's give it 30.251. Let's stay the same we did in the other one. 0. And that's it. But I forgot to do the spanning tree. So this is my secondary, right? It's a backup to the primary. So I'm going to do spanning tree, VLAN 1, 20, 30, root secondary. Cool. All right, so that's done. Let's check it out. Do show VLAN brief. And they're assigned, showing trunk. We see the trunks dynamically trunked. Why? Because that port that's here, this port, when you trunked these two ports, it mirrored that. So it trunked it dynamically. Okay, cool. So we got that, but now we need to do this portion of it. So we need to create sub interfaces because you can't do the encapsulation on the actual physical interface. So we come here. Enable conf t. Did I put the IP addresses on the computers? No, I didn't. See, I would have screwed up. 192.168. Something I always do first. I forgot. It's in a hurry. 20.1 and 20.254. So now the router is your gateway. You're not routing the switches. All right. Your router would be your gateway. 20.254. You know, in this case, it's 30, right? So we'll come here. 192.168.30.1 tab 192.168.30.254. Okay, cool. We're not doing DNS or anything like that right now. That'll be another video. If not, we'll be here forever. So let's go ahead and do this. All right, so interface G0/0. Just turn it on. All right, that's just opening the door. Okay, that's how I like to call it. I'm opening the door by turning it on. Now I gotta create sub interfaces. So I'm going to create a sub interface for VLAN 20. Interface G0/0.20. It could be any freaking number. I use 20 because of visualization purposes, right? Next is the encapsulation. You must put it. Encap.1Q. It must match the VLAN ID, which is 20, and then the gateway. IP address 192.168.20.254.255.255.255.0. And then the other sub interface, work smarter, not harder. 30, Apple arrow, encap 30, IP address 30. There's a method to the madness. Control Z, do WR. So WR. Now let's do a show IP in brief. Show IP in brief. Okay, and everything is showing that it's up. Let's test it to see if it's true. All right, make sure I didn't make a boo-boo. So we can ping our gateway, IP config, ping 192.168.10.254. You see, unreachable. Because I put 10 instead of 20. Because I'm a genius. It says right there 20. That's okay, 20.254. There we go. I'm telling you, I need more RAM. IP config. 30 lies, 30. Ping 192.168.30.254. All right, cool. So we can connect to our gateways. So we should have inter-VLAN connectivity. Now, let's route. We're doing OSPF. I'm going to do it first on the routers, and then I'll do it on the switches. All right, so let's start here, router. This is going to be area 0. Let's bring up area 0 first. So area 0 on that interface, that interface, that interface, that interface. So I'm not going to put anything on area 0 that's in the green or the blue. So let's start. So on router 0, enable conf t. So we do router OSPF1 network transit network 10.1.1.12.0003 area 0. Awesome. That's it. That's all I'm doing on that one. All right. Oh yeah, area 0. Now I could, since I'm here, I can put this interface in area 1, G1024. So I can go here in the same process ID number. I can say network. That's going to be 10.118.003. Careful now. That's area 1. Okay. All right. Do WR. That's multi-area OSPF. And then we come here to the middle router, router 1. Enable conf t router OSPF1 network 10.1.1.12.0003. Jesus. Okay, area 0. Area 0. Let's get a full loading done for me, please. Sometime this century. No? Fast forward through time. There we go. Yeah, it's my favorite button. And then we'll do the other network, which is 16, that we're attached to. Cool. Done. I still want to type that. I don't like that. All right. Let me close that. And now here, in this router here, we got several networks that we need to put, right? The VLANs and then the transit. All right. So let's do that. So config T, router OSPF1. Let's do the transit first. Network 10.1.1.16.0003 area 0. Now we'll do the LAN, which is in area 2. Network 10.1.1. Sorry. It's 192.168.20.0 oops 0.0.0.255 area 2 up arrow, and then it's 30, not 300. Okay, let's check it. Let's make sure we did it right. So the way you check that, there's a very good troubleshooting command, show IP protocols. All right, and you can see you got the transit network in the right area. You got the 2 VLANs in the area 2, right wildcard mask, right networks. All right, we're cool. All right, now we didn't do all the way, so we got to do these switches down here. Okay, this is area 1. So let's come over here. We're going to enable config T, but look what happens. Router OSPF 1. It's a switch. It's a switch. So we do IP routing. I mean, it's telling you what to do. IP routing, so router, OSPF1, and area, the 10.1.1.8, 0.0.0.3, area 1. What did I do? What did I do? Oh, network. Jesus Christ. Network, 10.1.1.8, 0.0.0.3, area 1. Okay, give me full loading, please. Please. All right, whatever. The next network down is 10.1.1.4. There's a full loading. That took forever. There's a 4. All right, we're done there. Do WR. Let's verify. Show IP protocols. And there is your 8 and your 4 in area 1. Cool. Go to this switch. Oh, here's we got the username. El Diaz Mango. LD. Oh, that's not that. Okay, El Diaz Cisco. There you go. There you go. It's because we're going into the console. So the console is Cisco. And I did do the username. Well, it's not even the console. It's the fact that the username is I did put Cisco. If I were to tell it in, is where I use Mango. Okay. All right. So here we got what are we doing? Oh, the routing protocol. Config router OSPF 1. IP routing. Router OSPF 1. Okay, network 10.1.1.4.0.0.0.3 area 1. And then we got network 192.168.10.0 0.0.0.255 area 1. All right, DWR. And you see that I didn't do the thing to not interrupt me because it interrupted me. I'm upset about that, but it's okay. Show IP protocols. All right, so we got those two going. So let's take a look at the routing table. Booyah. Show IP route. So there you go. Inter-area routing, right? You got to see the VLANs, right? It's OSPF, it's O. You got the administrative distance right here. How far away is it? Can we get all the way over there? Ping 192.168.20.1. Yep, 30.1. All right, so this is a quick, you know, you got SVIs, you got routed ports, you got layer 3 Ether channel, you got VTPs, you got the spanning tree, root primary, secondary, you got multi-area OSPF, that area 0, they need to be connected to. So we just did multi-area OSPF. We did a lot of things, okay? And it's almost an hour. So, but you do this, you practice it over and over and over and over and over again, and you'll get it. If you don't lab it, you're not going to get it. You're going to be slow on the labs. You got to get this done. Roger that. All right. Happy labbing. See you next time.